Stress is a bitch, isn't it? But it doesn't have to be that way. Author E. Joseph Kosman wrote, "If you want to test your memory, try to recall what you were worrying about 1 year ago today. Not that easy, is it?" Hey Luxers, today we're going to share 15 ways to be less stressed, and we share how a few words can change the way you view stress forever. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. Equip yourself with the right gear to tackle stress. If I told you it was really bad weather outside and you must go out and do a ton of gardening work, what would you do? You would put on a rain jacket and hat, right? You wouldn't try and change the weather. In our pursuit of managing stress, many of us try to change the weather. Instead of developing techniques to manage stress and to simply apply them like you would a jacket or rain boots, we stress about how to rein in the situation and have a mountain of stress to summit. Like the father of stress research, Hans Selye explains, it's not stress that kills us, it's our reaction to it. The first way to be less stressed is to realize that by developing techniques to handle stressful situations, you will have a wardrobe of outfits to protect you from it when it hits. Number 2. Understand that stress is unavoidable. Stress is natural. Yep, that's right. Stress is part of our inherent animal instinct, and it's a healthy level of stress that keeps us alive. If we didn't have a survival level of instinct of stress in us, we wouldn't ever mobilize and stay alive. What is avoidable is spinning out at the first sign of conflict or a challenge. Life is one big struggle. This planet is molten magma populated with billions of bacteria and a fragile ecosystem that must be maintained to sustain its current inhabitants, all while maintaining a perfect flight path while rotating around an exploding star based in an unexplored infinite sea of unpredictable space soup and dark matter that we barely understand. So, by now we're sure what to get your mother-in-law for Christmas is no longer your biggest stress, so you're welcome. But basically, what we're getting at is sometimes our stress can be misdirected, and sometimes, no matter how much we stress about it, we can't change the odds. So even though it's unavoidable, overstressing is pretty pointless. I mean, unless you know how to solve global warming while ensuring the planet never migrates from its magnetic polarity. Number 3. Understand that stress can be a tool if used properly. One thing's for sure, nothing great was achieved from a comfortable, stress-free point of view. Even something like creating the lazy boy chair was probably ironically stressful. Stress shows us what we value most. It gives us the motivation and edge to always give our goal our greatest effort. U2 lead singer Bono still gets stressed about a gig even 40 years after he began performing to packed stadiums. According to Bono, "The morning before a show, I get nervous. I can wake up with a sick feeling." And it's that stress that gives him the edge to deliver pitch-perfect performances time and time again. Number 4. Take a step back. When you get a stressful email or your upstairs neighbor calls to say your pipes have burst or your kid's school requires a meeting, it's easy to go into immediate stress mode. Rather, take a moment before you let your stress spiral out of control. This is that opportunity to recognize the kind of stress or weather that this is, and put on the right outfit for the occasion, as it were. Being calm and collected in the face of stress doesn't mean you're ignoring what's going on. It just means you're resisting the urge to react and taking a moment to respond with the kind of action that will resolve the situation, not make it worse. Number 5. Disconnect. The subtle art of not giving a fuck is a fine art indeed. It requires a good amount of headspace and a refined approach. And by the way, Aluxers, you can listen to the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson on Audible. If this is your first time, go to Alux.com/free book and get it for free. Often, to get to this plan of action, you need to allow yourself a little breathing room, a minute to stop and smell the roses before you tackle the situation head on. Physical activities work wonders for this. They give us a natural boost of happy hormones and a confidence boost to boot. Try something like a brisk walk, playing with your dog, do a short yoga class or a stretching routine. Crank up some music for a happy dance or take a shower. This will recharge you and make you ready to handle things better. Like American novelist and nonfiction writer Anne Lamott said, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Number 6. Identify what stresses you out. Stress can hit you like a tsunami of 1,000 rushing thoughts swirling in your mind all at once. It's hard to know which way is up, what is solid ground, and everything seems to be moving all at once. Remember that this is just the perception of a stressed mind. You should never trust a stressed mind to determine the real scale of a problem. Take time to write down what is stressing you out. Break it down into actual, actionable tasks. Then assign those a time frame that's manageable. That could mean making a phone call to talk to your boss, planning a family meeting to talk about getting your house routine on track, or cutting back on spending until your finances improve. When you see it written down, you will realize there are solutions and the problem can be resolved. Number 7. Realize it won't kill you. In the long term, stress can be deadly for sure. It kills your health, relationships, and your sex life. But in reality, the kind of things we stress about daily can't really kill us. Worrying about not picking up your laundry before they close isn't a death sentence. Not making your kid homemade cookies for the bake sale, whether your boss likes your presentation, or even a prang on your new car won't really dent your life expectancy. But ironically, worrying about these things will. Of course, if your biggest stress is the bear you find right in front of you while you're lost in the woods, well then you're shit out of luck. This is one stressful situation that might just kill you. Number 8. Regain control. Sometimes when you have that overwhelmed, stressed feeling, you just need an easy win. This puts you back in a feeling of control. When you're at your most stressed or vulnerable, fall back on some simple routine tasks to help you gain control of your confidence and help your mind find its center again. Go for mundane tasks like making your bed, putting your room in order, washing the dishes, or sorting out your handbag. Giving yourself something that can be fully under control by the time you're done. This will give you a more winning mindset when you go to tackle the items that are stressing you out the most. Number 9. Build momentum. Whether you break down a big stressful situation into smaller, more manageable tasks, or you start with a few simple tasks to regain control, you will see yourself picking up speed at tackling stressful things. This is because as you tick items off, you gain momentum and become comfortable and confident with each win. Soon, you'll be flowing through your comfort zone and the stress will seem like a thing of the past. Number 10. Practice mindfulness. Aluxers, extreme stress can be avoided if you begin to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to be completely present at any exact moment. If you're washing the dishes and your mind is racing on a million things that you're worried about, bring your mind back to the dishes. Smell the dishwashing liquid. Feel the warm water between your fingers. Let the bubbles sit on your skin and watch them pop. Be completely aware of every part of washing those dishes. Do the same with each task at hand, and your mind will learn to still itself. When we are stressing, we lose touch with reality. Mindfulness brings us back to the present moment. Most successful people practice some kind of mindfulness and meditation, and for good reason, to keep themselves grounded and level-headed. That's why we spent over a year building up our Mind Mastery course, and we had such an amazing response from you Aluxers. Go to Alux.com/mindmastery and join the thousands of Aluxers who've regained control of their lives. Number 11. Get grounded. There are many other ways to cope with stress when it rears its head. We completely understand that it's not always possible to do an hour of yoga or go for a 3-hour hike, but there are plenty of time-effective ways that will bring you back down to earth. In our video, 15 Habits to Improve Your Life, we take a closer look at the concept of grounding. Here's the concept in its basic form. Grounding or earthing is the simple process of walking on the Earth's surface barefoot. The benefits include the neutralization of free radicals, improved sleep, it helps with pain management and stress, and improves inflammation and immunity. As Gautama Buddha said, the foot feels the foot when it feels the ground. Number 12. Speak about it. We tend to believe if we share our stress or problems with people, they will think less of us. But as Houston-based clinical psychologist Eva Stovitz, PhD, states, venting helps take the feelings out from inside of yourself. It helps you to process them. Aluxers, don't see it as a failure on your part to speak about how you're feeling. It takes courage to do that, and you'll find that the problems will feel more manageable when you get an outsider's view on the situation. Number 13. Turn off the noise. Both external and internal. A lot of our stress stems from a constant flow of noise, visual, auditory, and mental. We've said it before, disconnect, but it's not just phones and PCs you have to disconnect from. Turn off all the noise. The moment you notice yourself thinking negative thoughts, stop and start a little mindfulness. Look at old photographs that bring back good memories. Watch a tree swaying in the wind. Focus on breathing in and breathing out, anything that stills your mind and helps you switch off the noise. And coming up, how a few words can change an entire outlook. Stay with us. Number 14. Give a helping hand. Spiritual leader Dada J.P. Vaswani once said, "A good way to overcome stress is to help others out of theirs." Helping others releases feel-good hormones and significantly reduces stress. If you haven't experienced that yourself, then trust the results of a study conducted by researchers at Yale University. They did a 14-day study on 77 adults aged 18 to 44, and the results were clear. Helping others boosted the daily well-being of the volunteers. They had higher levels of positive emotions, and their mental health was better overall. And Aluxers, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Holding a door open for someone, letting them in front of you in the shopping line if they only have one item to purchase, buying a chocolate bar for the person working at the garage. All of these good deeds will help you feel less stressed out. And remember, kindness has a ripple effect. Number 15. Don't sweat the small stuff. Robert Elliott once said, "Rule number 1 is don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number 2 is it's all small stuff." We're not diminishing that some things are indeed stressful, but often when we take a step back, we realize we've made a mountain out of a molehill. It's then you need to just say, fuck it, and do what you can without falling apart. If you're really battling Aluxers, we encourage you to seek some help. We reiterate that asking for help is so brave, and acknowledging you have a problem is commendable, and we have your back here at Alux. On that note, Aluxers, what really works for you to reduce stress? Please share your tips and tricks with us in the comments. And of course, for sticking with us until the end, you get a bonus. So, how can a few words change your entire outlook? Aluxers, one of the greatest pieces of advice we can share with you is this. Instead of thinking, oh my god, I have to do all of this, write a report, fetch the kids, put gas in the car, work a late shift, and so on, say this instead.